This isn't really a good weapon, but I want it anyway. It's better when you have Cowbell on, and Cowbell is one of those silver skulls. It just makes explosions bigger. I'm surprised it doesn't detract from your multiplier, because if you have grenades, it sort of makes you invincible and kill everything in one hit. And I love how I just referenced multiplayer without explaining it or anything. It's a terrible idea. He's not weak to that. Where's my Magnum? I don't even care. I'll just melee everything with this until I get another ranged weapon. The Arbiter likes to yell a lot, if you haven't noticed. He also does this in single player, which is pretty neat. He just flips back up every time he dies. That's a pretty good ability, I think. Not sure what's going on over there. They appear to be sticking themselves. Oh, and the catch skull, which makes everyone spam grenades, is pretty hilarious because at least once a level, grunts stick other grunts or brutes, and I just realized I never explain anything, and I'm not a very good Let's Player because they're sort of like how a casual person would go through the game, and you wouldn't necessarily be good at the game before watching it, and those big things are brutes and the small things are grunts. And the grunts are like the comic relief, and the brutes are like the comic relief if you're not playing on a hard difficulty, because they die so quickly. I should probably quit talking about that. I went over time, but I don't need to conform to YouTube trying to tell me what to do. Someday I'm gonna just... I mean, the only reason I do the YouTube time limits is because my computer is terrible, and one time I was trying to like record a lot at once and then cut it up later, and I lost the entire thing. So I do not do that anymore. Of course, that's no use for my terrible commentary. I'm just like kind of out of it because I'm still sort of drugged up. I got my wisdom teeth taken out a week and 3 days ago, and I'm still taking antibiotics and painkiller for it. Not the really bad stuff, but oh, okay. Those guys die in one melee to the back if you can make it, which I don't think I can. At least not while I'm out of it as much as I am. Bonk. Actually, when they don't have any health bonuses, they sort of die quickly to melee attacks anyway. I forgot about that. Of course, I'm dying a lot more quickly because all the weapons do a million times more damage to me. Go, stupid. You're not gonna do anything. You're my true foe. You're not being a meat shield. This guy has a ridiculous amount of health. Why don't I get that much health? Why don't I get that much health in multiplayer work? That would make sense. I mean, I can understand he's a superhero and has lots of stamina. And if he attacked me, which he can't really, he wouldn't do very much. But I just like complaining, and it's basically the only kind of commentary I can do regularly, so I don't really mean any of the things I say because most of them are probably inaccurate. And well, how did I do that? I thought it was overcharging there. To people who are familiar with the Halo franchise, interesting note is, I don't know if it's just because I'm new and inexperienced or what, but I seem to be considerably better with the standard long-range weapons than the good ones, like the sniper rifles. And I don't really know why. I just can't seem to aim as well with them. I don't know if that's like normal to people who are inexperienced, and just most of the people who play this game have been playing Halo games and first-person shooters for long before this, but I am not very good at it. I mean, I sort of doubt anyone cares, but I don't know, maybe you do care if you're watching a... Oh, I love these guys, they're suicidal.
David is unkillable!
This doesn't require any commentary. Whoops. I sort of walked into that, didn't I? Maybe caffeine will help me think. Okay, so I can't do that on Legendary. Interesting, I'll have to make a note of that. Did I kill him? No, I keep hitting his body. I don't know what that means. Where should I aim? I'm gonna go find a carbine. And by find a carbine, I mean let the Arbiter deal with it. Whatever, this works. Dang it. Dang it. Well, I don't know. People seem to have illogical amount of joy out of people dying over and over in video games, even if they're not dying in an interesting way. So hopefully you get some sick pleasure out of that. And if not, thank you for sticking with me, even though I'm not really doing very much. Hopefully once I get to the sniper parts, I can do more fun things. I love it when it makes a little pop noise. I think it always makes it, but most of the time there's so much ambient noise, nothing really... They're roughly... They use the grenades a lot more than I remembered in my first playthrough. I don't know if that's the difficulty setting or what. There could just be some pretty intelligent AI, because they were using it almost as much as they did when I had the thing that makes them supposed to throw it more on. Just when I had the thing that makes them better weapons, so... I don't know, most of the things in this game have pretty sophisticated AI, so... Am I out of range of everything? Sort of. Come on. Dang it! Okay, well, that is not working. Let me just... I really need a good weapon. I'm sure that people who are decent at the game can make kills with magnums ridiculously easy, but I'm not very good at the game yet, and I'm playing on a small screen. I think I had a slightly higher headshot ratio when I was playing on my TV instead of my computer, but I can live with that. It's sort of creepy using a television to do things after being a fan of the internet for so long. It's sort of a weird thing to call yourself a fan of the internet. I guess most people would be considered that. If I talk about weird things, maybe you won't notice I'm not really doing very many video games.